This is the new Ford Ranger Stormtrak, a new limited edition model from Ford, limited to just 200 units. Now, with some aesthetic changes and some slight spec upgrades, Ford promises that the Stormtrak is exactly what customers want. So this is our launch coverage of Ford's new Ranger Stormtrak. Now, one of the things that Ford customers love a lot is this lump. Under the bonnet, you'll find the same 2-litre bi-turbo engine that we've seen from other Ranger variants, made to the same 10-speed automatic gearbox. Now, this 2-litre bi-turbo diesel boasts not only fantastic performance, but also excellent fuel economy. And so we're glad that this is the mill they've chosen for the Ranger Stormtrak. Now, being a limited edition, there are a few aesthetic differences that differentiate the Stormtrak from other members of the Ranger family. So up front, you not only get the little bit of red that you would have spotted down in the lower valance, but you also get these, which are 3-point auxiliary LED lights that sit on either side and span all the way across the bumper, or at least the garnish does. This is perhaps the most distinctive part of the new Ranger Stormtrak, and it's certainly something that you will see from very far away. The other thing that you might notice about the Stormtrak are the rolling stock. So the Stormtrak rides on 20-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Goodyear Wrangler tires. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these are 20-inch units, and the design is very similar to what we've seen from the Ford Everest, but of course this is done in black with a little bit of red accenting to differentiate the Stormtrak, again, from other members of the Ranger family. Now, additionally, down the side, you can't really see it on this black model, but there are also unique decals by the doors as well as on the rear 3/4. You also get a standard fit side step in order to improve ingress and egress into the truck. You also get the swing bars that we saw from the Ranger Platinum, which is certainly a feature that a lot of customers quite liked, and it's nice to see that it's now moving further down in the Ford lineup. What is notable, however, is that you don't get any sort of badging here, because we're used to seeing bi-turbo fitted here for the models with the bi-turbo 2-litre, but weirdly, this car does not have it. They also get the Stormtrak logo down on the side in the same positioning that you would find Platinum, etc. But of course, it's done in black and red because that is the color scheme for the new Stormtrak. Now, the other feature that is quite notable for this model is this, which is the movable rear bar. This allows for longer items to be fixed on top of the vehicle instead of having to sit inside the bed. And this is again another feature that we've seen from the Ranger Platinum, and we're again glad to see that it's going further down in the lineup. Now, at the back, we get the same LED taillights that we've seen from the Platinum as well as the Raptor models, which also include the radar system for the blind spot monitoring camera, which is certainly very nice. And of course, you get the very prominent Stormtrak badging up here on the top right corner. Now, behind this tailgate, which does not have any sort of damping whatsoever, Ford is very keen to point out this car now comes with something called zone lighting. This allows the Ranger Stormtrak to illuminate certain areas of the truck when the vehicle is stationary and off, which means that if you're camping, for example, if you're trying to load things in and out of your truck in the middle of the night, you now get built-in bed lights as well as lights along the side in order to best illuminate your activities. Now, one thing that I will point out is that despite the fitment of the movable third rack back here that we saw from the Ranger Platinum, what we do not get is the electric bed cover. That was again a feature that a lot of customers really liked about the Ranger Platinum, and that is perhaps why it's being limited only to the top spec model. That said, however, you still get very sturdy tie-down points back here as well as auxiliary power outputs, including a 3-pin socket should you want to power ancillary items, should you be on a work site or more likely out camping. Now, the interior of the Stormtrak has also received some aesthetic changes in order to, again, differentiate it from other models. And that includes things like this faux leather seating with fake suede along the sides. But more importantly, you do get some red piping as well as Stormtrak badging on the backrest, and so that certainly looks quite nice, as well as Stormtrak badging up on this particular piece of trim in front of the front passenger. Now, from the driver's seat, there are a few things that are worth pointing out. Firstly, you get this lovely portrait-style center touchscreen, which we have used before. You've seen our reviews of the Ford Ranger as well as the Ford Everest. This Ford Sync system is excellent to use, and it's very responsive, and the graphics are fantastic. You also get physical buttons for the HVAC system, which I certainly appreciate. And of course, you get more physical buttons on the multifunction steering wheel for all of your major controls, which again is certainly very appreciated, especially in the age of things going more digital with haptic touch and all of that nonsense. Now, in terms of seating position, these seats are electrically adjustable for both the passenger as well as the driver, with no memory functionality, unfortunately. But at least finding a good seating position is easy because these seats are very adjustable, and of course you get plenty of adjustment in the steering wheel, so it's very easy to find a comfortable seating position. The only trouble I have is the digital instrument cluster in this car is of a lower grade. So in the Platinum and the Raptors, for example, you get a full digital screen, whereas in this car it's just very small. At least you still get dual zone climate control. You still get the drive mode selected down here with the ability to choose between 2 high, 4 high and 4 low, as well as the electronic gear selector that we've seen in the past to manipulate the 10-speed automatic gearbox. Now, overall life in the front is pretty good, but actually the biggest selling point of the Ranger is what goes on in the back, because the rear quarters are significantly more comfortable in the Ranger than they are in a lot of other Ford competitors. So for example, with this seat setup in my driving position, I have a good amount of knee room and a decent amount of headroom, and more importantly, there's plenty of space to tuck my feet in underneath the seat in front of me, so I actually enjoy quite a decent bit of under thigh support. I also get a set of crotch coolers, a USB-C and USB-A port, as well as a 3-point household socket if I want to charge a laptop, for example, or if you have children, maybe you could plug in a television and a PS3 or something. Anyway, life back here is pretty good for kids because you do have ISO fixed mount, and these windows do roll down quite a bit, which means that you do get a pretty good view out, also aided by the relatively low shoulder line. And I have a colleague peering in, trying to figure out what I'm doing. And back here, you will find a deployable center armrest with a couple of cup holders, and if you need even more space, these seats can actually be tumbled forward, so you can use this as a load bay as well, although obviously you cannot pass through from the bed into the cabin. As our colleague from another publication is demonstrating, the side steps and the roof rails can take quite a bit of load. But in terms of active safety, the Ford Ranger Stormtrak also comes very well specified. Because this car comes with things like adaptive cruise control with traffic jam assist, blind spot monitoring, a panoramic view camera, as well as automatic headlights with matrix LEDs, ensuring that you have maximum visibility no matter what the condition. Now, the Ford Ranger Stormtrak retails at 181,888 ringgit here in Peninsular Malaysia and rises to 188,288 ringgit for East Malaysia. All cars come as standard with the usual SDAC Ford warranty, which means that you shouldn't have any concerns buying your new Ranger at all. It is worth noting, however, that this Stormtrak is a limited edition, limited to just 200 units. And so if this is the Ford Ranger for you, you'd best put in your booking soon. In any case, that concludes our launch coverage of the new Ford Ranger Stormtrak. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon to be notified every time we make a new upload. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can join our WhatsApp channel. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care and stay safe.